Hello friends, Christy here from Crafty Christy's Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to make these cute little Easter themed items. Here we've got a carrot and a bunny, and these are perfect for cake toppers or just like if you wanted to make a little streamer banner for Easter. Either way, these are quick and easy little items you can make. So I am going to grab these. I'm just going to group it together. And we're just going to move it out of the way and we're going to start from scratch. So I'm going to start with our oval tool or the ellipse tool. And we're just going to draw a big ellipse. This is going to be the start of our carrot. So I'm going to go ahead and fill it in with orange. And then we're going to double tap and that's going to bring up our point editing. And then with this, you can see we are going to make some adjustments. I'm going to grab this top one. And then when you do that, you see you get these little handlebars on both sides. So I'm just going to grab this handlebar and stretch it out. And then I'm going to grab the other one and try to stretch it, eyeball it to kind of make it the same. And you can see I can tilt these up and down. And it also changes your shape. So I want to try to get those nice and level. What we can do to make this easier on ourselves is come over here and turn on our grid. And that might make it a little bit easier to see our points. So we're going to double tap again. Okay, and now you can see you've got your handlebars. And now you can, let's move the whole thing so we're right in the center. And now we'll know if we get our handlebars nice and even on those lines. And then that way you know you've pulled it the same on both sides. Okay, so that is the top part of our carrot, and then the bottom part here, and kind of pull that down. And you can bring these in to make it a little pointier. Let's see how that looks. Looks like a big skinny one. So I'm gonna fix this top a little bit more here. So I'm gonna tap on that, and I'm gonna drag these out a little bit more. And you can see as I drag them out, I get a different shape at the top. So I'm gonna tap on that. Then I'm gonna grab this handlebar and pull that all the way out. So now you can see I get more of a different shape. And now we need to do something with these side ones, because I don't want that to really curve in and then curve back out. So I'm going to shrink this top handlebar. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of a tilt. I'm going to shrink that top handlebar kind of so it's stuck behind. And you can see they're kind of finicky. And then let's see if we can't. As you shrink these, they work a little less. And let's try that. Tap on this side. Shrink this one. I'm going to try to bring it kind of all the way in. And I'm going to shrink this one a bit. All right, let's see how that looks. That looks better. Okay, and now we're going to make the green part up top. And I'm actually going to be using some of the arc shapes that are here. And we're going to use the bell. Where did it go? We can use this one. And then when you click, and then you're going to click and pull that out. And then I'm going to give this a green fill. And that's way too big, so I'm going to make that smaller. And I'm going to make 3 copies. So I'm holding the Alt or Option key on your keyboard. You get that plus signal. Click and drag, and then I'm going to make a 3rd copy. So just held down that Alt or Option key. And then I'm just going to rotate. I'll have this one standing up nice and straight. And then actually I'm going to delete that one. When we get this one in position where we want it, I want this one nice and tall. Like that. Okay. This one I think I'm going to make a little bit smaller. think that looks better. And now what I'm actually going to do with this one, with it selected, I'm going to come over to my replicate panel, and I'm going to mirror that one to the right. And you can see it put a copy over here. And that is about the right distance, I think. And then what I can do to make sure, grab both of these, and then I'm going to align them to the bottom, and that's going to make sure that their tips are at the same height. All right, and now what we can do, I'm going to grab all of those green ones, and I'm going to weld those together to make them one shape. And that looks kind of funny, but we will fix that. So now we're going to double tap, and we're going to do some more point editing. Probably didn't realize this was going to be so involved. So I'm actually just going to click on this one, and I'm going to come to delete. Or you can just hit the delete key on your keyboard, and that will delete those. So this looks kind of goofy, but that's okay. I think it'll look okay. If we wanted to make it chunkier, we could take this one, maybe this one, and we can pull that side out a bit, and we can do the same thing on the other side. Just pull that out. That looks a little better. And then to get this nice rounded shape like I did with that one, I'm going to kind of set it. I'm going to fix this top one. Kind of want these a little... I should have made these a little bit thicker, a little wider. That looks better. And then to get that rounded shape around this one, we're going to go back to our modify panel, and this time we're going to hit divide. And then what that does is now I've got this is one piece, this is one piece, and this is a piece. So I'm going to hit Control Z to undo all that moving. And that's going to put them all together. And now I'm going to grab the orange and this middle green, and I'm going to weld those two pieces together. So that's my carrot. And then here's my top. Okay. Now, what I'm also going to do is grab both of these, and I'm going to make a copy of it. So I'm going to right click, and we're going to copy. And then we are going to, I think we have to go up to our object. And paste in front, so Control F. And what that did was gave me another copy of the same thing. So I'm going to undo that move. And I'm going to weld this copy. And then I'm just going to fix these little pieces here. So again, double tap. And then around here, I'm just going to hit my delete key. And I'm going to get rid of all these center pieces just to hit delete. So if you turn this into a cake topper, you are going to want to have a back layer or your carrot to be this entire part. And then you're going to want to layer your green on top. So this is going to make that a lot easier. And you need to get rid of all these little anchor points here, because if you left those, it's actually going to cut on these little dots, and then that's going to look kind of weird. So we are just cleaning up our design here a little bit. And then I'm also going to zoom in here as we clean up a little more. Click here. And I think this is the last one. Clean up this corner a little bit more here. And those will be okay. So now when you click on it, this corner might need a little bit more. Undo that one. Okay, that looks much better. Okay. So we're going to zoom out here. So now when you look at it, so I'm going to make this let's do this. We'll do this just so you can see the difference. So we have that, and then we've got our pieces. So what I would do is I would cut this one out, and then I would cut this one out of green. I'm going to bring it to the front so you can see. And then when you go to cut this out, I would just layer this on top here. It's going to give it a little bit of dimension. And then that's how I would do my 2 layers to make this like a, anything you wanted to cut out, that would be much easier. Okay, so there is our carrot. Let's move him over. And now let's make this bunny. So I'm going to come back here and center our mat. And then again, we're going to be using the shape tools here. And first I'm going to draw a circle. If you want a perfect circle, you can hold down the Alt key or Option on a Mac, and that'll make it a perfect circle. And I think that's good. And let's go ahead and fill this in with our nice pink. And then I'm going to grab another circle, and this is going to be our body. I'm going to fill that with pink as well. Sometimes it helps to just fill these colors in as you're drawing to just get a better idea on the size. I think I want this a little more. Okay. I think that looks good. And then we will work on those ears. So I'm just going to draw kind of a long, skinny one here. We'll angle that where we want it. Maybe fatten that up a little bit. Okay, we'll make that pink as well. All right, and then over to my replicate panel again. And again, I'm going to mirror to the right. Pull this over here. And holding down the Shift key, grabbing both of those and aligning them to the bottom. You saw that moved them a little bit. And then I'm just using my arrow key to tap those down a little. Okay, and then for the feet, we'll do another oval across the bottom. We'll fill that in with pink. All right, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to grab all of these and again come over to my modify panel and I'm going to weld all of those together. And there is the basic bunny shape. Now I can come in here and do some point editing. I like to grab this piece here and just kind of make that a little bit flatter. Might have to tilt these a little. Okay, and then to do our little bunny tail, we're coming back over to this one. I'm gonna grab this little guy. Oop. And that looks pretty good. And we'll fill that one in with white. Okay, let's make this guy a little bit smaller. We'll turn our grid lines off because they are distracting when you don't need them. All right, and then I can pull our carrot back over here. Let's turn this back to orange. Okay, now if you want to step this carrot up, what we can do now is come over to our freehand tools, grab your draw freehand, and then I'm going to bring this over here. You don't want to be too close to the edge, but now you can just come in here and draw some little squiggly lines. So now what I can do is take that one and I can give it, make it kind of, that looks good. And let's turn that, let's turn that black. Okay, and then I'm just going to use that same squiggly line. So I'm gonna just click and drag another copy of it. Oops. The Alt or Option key. I'm trying to just grab that little black part. Is kind of difficult. And then I'm just hitting Control and Z to undo. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So what you can do, you know, the more you kind of thicken up these little black lines, then what you can do, teach you a quick trick. I want that, not that. I'm going to punch these up a little bit more. Seven. And then let's space these out a little bit more. It is kind of hard sometimes to grab just these little black pieces. And then I also don't want them super close to the edge, so I'm trying to pull them in a little. You can also use your arrow keys to tap left or right. Okay, and then what you can do, let's see how many layers I have here. Okay. Just undoing my move. And then I'm going to grab all of these and I'm just going to leave the green one sitting there. So I've got my full carrot layer and then I have this. And actually I'm going to leave that. And I'm going to take this carrot piece. Let's grab all of our black pieces. And I'm just going to, I'm holding down the Shift key, deselecting to just get these, and or do it that way. I'm going to pull these ones over to this top carrot piece, kind of eyeball where I want them. And then I'm going to come down to my modify panel and hit subtract. And then now I've got cutouts. So now if I take this one and turn my back layer black, and then you can lay these on top of each other. So when you go to cut these out of paper, it'll be a lot easier to layer them just right. And then layer them on top. And now you have a much fancier looking carrot. And then to make them, you know, if you want to make them perfect while you're looking at them on the computer, I can try to grab both of these layers. And then I can align them to the bottom, align the middle. Oops. This middle. There. Okay. And then this guy I can nudge down a little, just so you have a better idea of what it looks like. So then that's how you can step up your basic carrot. And then you've got your little puff here that you can cut out and glue that to the back. So that is how you can make some little Easter paper projects that would be really cute as cake toppers, or string, put a hole in them and string them up to make some garland. Either way, but there is some Easter themed little designs. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future Silhouette Studio tutorials. Until next time, with love, Crafty Christy.